Hey there, Chiefs fan. Can we just take a second to appreciate how incredible this season has been so far? 9 wins, only 1 loss. It's the kind of dominance we've come to expect from the defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions. But as exciting as this season has been, let's be real for a moment. There's one thing that could keep us from making history with the NFL's first ever three-peat, the Chiefs' outside pass rush. Now, I know what you're thinking. How bad could it really be if we're sitting at 9-1? Well, that's the thing. The Chiefs are so talented in other areas that it's easy to overlook a glaring issue like this. But trust me, this could become a huge problem, especially with teams like the Bills and Steelers breathing down our necks for the AFC's top seed. Here's the plan. We're going to dive into exactly what's going on with our outside pass rush, who's stepping up, and who isn't, and how we might fix it. But before we do, let me know in the comments, what do you think is the biggest challenge for the Chiefs this season? And hey, if you're enjoying this conversation, why not hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell? It's a small action that makes a big difference as we chase our goal of 2,000 subscribers. Thanks for being part of the Total Chiefs family. Alright, now that we've set the stage, let's talk about just how serious this outside pass rush problem really is. Spoiler alert, it's worse than you might think. The problem, outside pass rush stats and struggles. Alright, let's break this down. You've probably noticed that something feels a little off with the Chiefs' defense this year. Sure, Chris Jones is still wrecking offensive lines like he's playing on cheat codes, but outside of him, the edge pressure has been, well, let's just say it's not what you'd hope for from a team chasing its 3rd straight Super Bowl. Let me hit you with some numbers. Last season, the Chiefs ranked 2nd in the league with 57 sacks. That's elite territory. But this year, they're on pace for just 32 sacks. That's over a 40% drop. Even worse, out of those 32 projected sacks, only 6 have come from our edge players through 10 games. 6. To put that into perspective, only 2 teams in the entire NFL have worse production off the edge, the Falcons and the Panthers. Not exactly great company to be in, right? Here's the kicker, without a reliable outside pass rush, quarterbacks are having way too much time to work their magic against us. And in the AFC, where you're dealing with guys like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, giving them extra seconds is a recipe for disaster. So let's get interactive here. If you could bring back last season's edge rush dominance with just one move, what would it be? Drop your ideas in the comments. I'd love to see how you'd play general manager. Now that we've talked about the problem, let's shift gears and take a closer look at the players behind these numbers. Who's stepping up, and who needs to step it up? Let's find out. Let's talk about the guys on the field because, hey, this isn't just about stats, it's about people. If you're a Chiefs fan like me, you've probably noticed that George Karlaftis has been the lone bright spot when it comes to our edge rush. The guy's solid, no doubt. He's responsible for 4 of the 6 sacks from our defensive ends this season. That's impressive considering how little help he's getting. Pro Football Focus gives Karlaftis a 66.8 pass rush grade, ranking him 47th out of 113 edge rushers. Not bad, but here's the thing, he's working alone out there. Imagine if someone else on the edge could match his energy, we'd be cooking. Now, let's talk about Mike Danna and Felix Anudike-Uzomah. These guys have combined for just 2 sacks and 21 pressures this season. Yeah, 2 sacks. Danna's 58.2 pass rush grade ranks him 81st among edge rushers, and Felix is slightly better at 60.3, sitting at 68th. It's tough to watch because they both show promise, but consistency? That's where we're hurting. Then there's Cam Thomas, who we traded for earlier this season. So far, he's been a ghost. No significant production, no game-changing plays. It's frustrating, right? Now I've got a question for you. Do you think this is more about the players underperforming, or is it something to do with the coaching and scheme? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear where you stand on this. Alright, so we've covered who's making an impact and who isn't. But there's a glimmer of hope coming back into the lineup. Let's talk about Charles Omenihu and what he could bring to this defense. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about some good news. Charles Omenihu is back. Well, almost. He's been designated to return from IR and has started practicing, which is a big deal for this defense. But here's the catch: he's not your typical edge rusher. Omenihu's strength lies in creating pressure on the interior, lining up alongside Chris Jones to wreak havoc. And let's be real, that's a valuable asset. If he can exploit matchups while Jones draws double teams, the entire defensive line could level up. But is that enough to fix our edge problem? Probably not. Before his injury, Omenihu wasn't exactly known for winning consistently off the edge, and if he's lost any of his burst, that's going to limit him even more in that role. Now don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see him back. Even if he's just boosting the interior pressure, that's still a win for us. But at the end of the day, we need help on those outside lanes. What do you think? Does Omenihu's return make you feel more optimistic about the pass rush? Or do you think the Chiefs still need to find an edge-specific solution? Let me know in the comments. It's always great to hear different perspectives. Speaking of potential solutions, there's one player on the roster who could help turn things around. Let's talk about Joshua Uche and whether he's the answer to our outside pass rush woes. Alright, let's talk about a name that might not be on your radar yet: Joshua Uche. The Chiefs picked him up from the Patriots before the trade deadline, and he just might be the key to solving this outside pass rush problem. Or at least, part of it. Here's why Uche deserves your attention. He has a 69.2 pass rush grade from PFF, making him the highest graded edge rusher on the Chiefs this season. His pressure rate? A solid 12.1%, which is better than Karlaftis' 10.5%. And let's not forget that Uche had an 11.5 sack season with New England. Not too shabby, right? But here's the head-scratcher. In 3 games with Kansas City, Uche has only played 25 defensive snaps. Last game against the Bills? He was on the field for just 5 snaps. Why isn't he playing more? It could be that Spags, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, doesn't fully trust him yet. Maybe Uche hasn't had enough time to learn the system, or maybe Spags worries about his ability to hold up against the run. Whatever the reason, it's clear we're not getting the most out of him right now. But what do you think? Should the Chiefs take the risk and give Uche more snaps, especially on clear passing downs? Vote in the comments: yes, let him loose, or no, let's play it safe. With Omenihu's return and Uche's untapped potential, the pieces are there for improvement. But will it be enough to help the Chiefs' defense dominate when it matters most? Let's wrap it all up. Alright, Chiefs fan, let's bring it all together. We've talked about the glaring issues with the outside pass rush, highlighted who's stepping up and who isn't, and explored the potential impact of Charles Omenihu and Joshua Uche. But the big question remains, will it be enough? The Chiefs are sitting pretty at 9-1, but as we march toward the playoffs, the margin for error gets smaller. Teams like the Bills, Bengals, and even the Ravens are gearing up for deep postseason runs, and if the Chiefs can't generate consistent pressure from the edge, it could spell trouble when facing elite quarterbacks. The good news? There's still time. Spagnuolo's defense has always been about finding creative ways to generate pressure, and with Omenihu back and Uche potentially earning more snaps, there's hope that this group can hit its stride when it matters most. Add in Chris Jones continuing to dominate, and the defense still has the tools to make life miserable for opposing offenses. Now, here's where I want to hear from you. What's your confidence level in this defense as we head into the final stretch of the season? Drop a score from 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell me why. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us keep growing this amazing community of Chiefs fans as we chase our goal of 2,000 subscribers. Plus, you'll never miss a chance to talk Chiefs football with us. Outro. Thanks for hanging out today and diving deep into the state of the Chiefs defense. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, And, of course, all the excitement as we march toward another Super Bowl. See you in the next video. Go Chiefs!